we grown-ups, as soon as we are grown up, then we are the experienced ones. We are not the clever ones anymore. And it is proven that every really big scientist on Earth, they developed what they developed before they were in the middle 30s. After that, you're just living on your experiences. And that's good enough. But our school system is the opposite. It tries to tell the whole society and the kids, especially the kids, and that's the dangerous thing about it, that we are the clever one. And they are the small, not really, you could say, educated ones, and they need to listen to everything we are telling them, and they need to take that inside, and then they will be as clever as we are. We as grown-ups need to create an environment in our schools where the kids, they really can be socialized, so they can, on their own terms of course, where the grown-ups, again, they have the experience, so they can be coaches of what's going on, but they have to learn by themselves. And we also really need to let them be in an environment where they can develop their empathies. One of the things we're doing in classrooms is that we put students in the classrooms because we want to have control. And as soon as we want to have control, we are talking about discipline. Of course we are. And we put them in these classrooms by their age. We think that students on the same age, they fit together. That's rubbish. They really don't. Of course, students on 6 years and students on 18 years, they are different. But if you have a student, let's say, on 8 year, he could be or she could be totally, let's say, in language, could be the same level as a student on 13 or another student on 5, depending on where they've been in their lives until now. My grandchildren, they were in China for 2 years. They were English spoken. Now they are not anymore because they are living in Denmark, where you have to teach English instead of just talk English with your buddies. So I think I'm also talking about having an environment, having a building where the older students meet with the younger students. So the older students can feel, you could say, the importance of knowing something where I can help these little students. And the little students, they can feel the importance of having a really good body in an old student, and also looking forward to be one of those who can tell one of the younger ones something. And all over the world we are doing this. I think it's the English system, where we have the students in a class, 4 walls, and on the other side of the class you have this corridor. And think about what I said about socialization, about learning empathy. How can you learn that in a classroom with a teacher in the one end, and you just have to be quiet and listen? And now it's really modern with project jobs, so you are putting out on groups like we were here, 4, 5, 6 students in a classroom with really bad acoustics, so you still have to be quiet. So you cannot learn as a student what happens if I'm shouting a little and disturbing the others. No, you cannot learn that, because as a teacher you just go in there and say, could you please be quiet? So you learn to obey, you will learn discipline. And I think it's so important to really think about that discipline and creativity. They are in each end of the same, you could say, developing. So the more discipline, the less creativity. And if you really are doing discipline really much, then suddenly you have students who only think about, how can I cheat this discipline? How can I do something that's on my own? Okay, what about the buildings? You of course have to, I say of course, sorry, you of course have to do student environments, even if it's for grown-ups, but especially for kids, where they can meet each other, where they can feel that this is their building. They have to be in charge of the building. They have to feel that I'm here to learn. This is because I'm an important person. And all this, the building, the grown-ups, the teachers and whatever, they are here because they know that I have to learn. And I, of course, accept that they are here because they are my mentors. So I have respect for them. I hopefully love them, like the grown-ups love me. But everything's going on here is one purpose and only one purpose. It's because we as kids are in a learning institution. And whatever we want to learn, there will be an opportunity to do that. There will also be things that we need to learn, but I think that we should do these buildings in a way where they could feel freedom, you could say a learning landscape. And whatever they need to learn, it's something they do together. It's something they do with their bodies. And I think we should give up the word teachers. And the mentors, they just help them to explore what they need to explore, help them to communicate, and help them especially in their social behaviors, help them how to behave social if you want to be a part of a group, and especially if you want to be a part of a group where you try to be, let's say, tell the other people in the group what you think is the most important. Hellerup School is a school without classrooms. It's totally open. We only have doors into toilets because people think it's embarrassing not to have doors into toilets. Kids doesn't, so it's a grown-up thing. But I mean, we still do that. So we have, of course, doors into that. And then we have doors into the fire escape staircases. Otherwise, it's a totally open school. Where the students form in groups where they do a little different depending on where in the school they are. There are 750 students in this school, which is the normal in Denmark, and it's small for England and it's big for some other countries. But 500-700, then you still can know everybody. If you do the right environment, you can know everybody. The idea in a total open school is, of course, that everybody has some kind of connection to everybody. Because it's, you could say the experiment is the first time you've done this for 30 years in Denmark. The experiment is that making, you could say, framework and architecture where you build a kind of community between all these students in this school. And you also try to let them teach each other, learn from each other, meet each other. And one of the main issues in this school, also because of what I told earlier about the socializing, in the middle of the school we have the open staircase, where every transportation from one storage to another, there's 3 storages, is going on this staircase. So everybody, when you are in the school, can see what's happening in the school. You can just put yourself in the middle of the staircase and you'll be able to overlook the whole school. You'll be able to listen to what's going on in the whole school. And this staircase is then divided into 2, you could say, kind of steps. A double step where you can sit and talk, and a single step where it's meant to be that you're just walking.